Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2, and this is still the San Diego Chaos mode, but today with a little speed build of the Main Street to really focus on the sandbox, or basically it's not sandbox, but the creative aspect of the game. You can see me starting here, right over here, with a little seating area, as you can see, right in front of the entrance to the San Diego Dome, with different elements in here, and I really tried to focus on what the game offers in terms of customizability. And I will actually talk you through in this rather short speed build of my experience. So if you want to see the full real-time play, it's on my channel. It's linked on the channel. You can watch it. It's 1 hour and 10 minutes of gameplay. So if you want to see that, but I messed up quite significantly. But in this specific video, we're going to talk about the building. And you can see these builds over here already look quite a lot like the original Jurassic Park style. And the good thing about this is you can mix and match your buildings to the various styles in Jurassic Park San Diego or wherever you want to build, and you can always vary between the Jurassic World style or the Jurassic Park style. You can even mix them together on a main street if you want, and you can see some slight little changes here. There's a little building animation for the pathway, and in general it just kind of takes a little while until things are built, but that's about it. Now I really wanted to focus a bit more on this because one major complaint from the creative perspective, and you know, I won't go into the depth of, for example, Planet Zoo or something, because this game is not meant to be that way. We always have to compare that to the first game, and there was simply the problem that you only had one building for one thing, and you could change the menus, but that was about it. You couldn't even change like the looks of it. You couldn't change anything. And in this here, you can really change a lot. You can't even change the menus. You can change the facility in terms of what it should be for. So you can say either it's kind of a facility for donuts or whatever. You get like a general facility where you can even change between a souvenir shop or a food or drink. So that's pretty cool because you can always use this facility and then you know, fine tune it to the likes that you need. And also the good thing is you can then with the menu change the different styles, and there are actually quite a lot of options. It's a little bit of a pity that you have to really go through the menu and then really change between all these different styles. You will see that in a second when we are really going into, you obviously have to research different sizes of shops and so on, but it's really like a little bit of a pity where you really have to go through a drop down menu and choose between different styles. They did name it quite nicely though. They did name it in a way that you can see if it's the style from Jurassic Park or not, and here you can see the overlay. You can choose the different empty spots where you can choose some well, basically deco elements that you don't really see because they are mostly inside of the building, so which you can't see, but some of them are outside, like a little fountain or something, and these do attract different types of persons, and then this is more attractive for the adventure seekers, and the others are more, you know, attractive to families. You get the idea, blah blah blah. So it's really nicely laid out, so you can make the facilities always different for each type, and then build more of these buildings, which is really cool, because that really gives you the chance to build some actual usable main streets. And also it just, you know, kind of gets rid of that one situation in the first game where you had the optimum kind of layout for each area. I think I remember correctly, it was kind of the arcade, the restaurant, and I don't know which other shop it was, but you know, that was basically the perfect alignment to fulfill all the needs, and you never built any other shop than these three facilities because they were the most space efficient ones and the most efficient one when it comes to guests. And now with the chance of using the building and change it or tailor-made it to actually whatever you want, makes it a bit more versatile, and you can build different buildings. You have like the color palette over here, you can see you can change the color of each building, you can change the style, and you can see you can put some deco elements down. One thing that I like in particular is that you can put these things on the pathway. You can really see how I can now, you know, cover up my ugly little path I built over there, and you can really put these things on the path, which I think is really cool. The path system didn't really change in the game. Like I legit did not see a single, you know, change, which To be fair, there's one thing I'm really missing is still bridges, or like in general just putting things above an area, which is a pity. You can't still do that. There's still no option to raise a path, which is a bit of a downer. I would have loved to see that, or at least like a bridge, like a prefab building that you can connect to. That would have at least been a little bit of a thing to just build things a bit nicer. But yeah, I think we have to live with what it is. And you can see I'm putting like quite a lot of buildings down here because I needed to fulfill also the needs of the guests, which I did not succeed in. And then at some point I was like, you know what, then we're just building the main street. So I was like, you know, we're just putting them down. You can see I'm just choosing all these different traits for the different buildings. I'm putting down some things, and you can see on the right hand side the restroom is like in full Jurassic Park style, while the other stuff is still in Jurassic World. But you've also seen a couple of seconds ago how I chose different elements from the Jurassic Park looks. It looks almost like the gate of Jurassic Park, the original gate, as like the gate into the building. And you can always choose the location if it's left, right, or in center. And then you can also, you know, put different things on top, like have a terrace there, have like a second shop layer, and all these things are all cosmetic. So there's no change to the building if you change the style of it. It's only for your eyes only, so to say. It's only for you. But I think it's better than nothing, because it really helps you to make sure that this overall style fits to the needs that you have. And also it will hopefully bring in a little bit more of a replayability of the game, and especially in sandbox mode, because you can vary the buildings a lot better. So you can definitely make different looking areas by choosing different colors and different styles. You can definitely go and make like one very modern corner, while you make like a very natural Jurassic Park OG corner. That is now finally possible in one park. So at least you can have two different areas, with more the modern one and more the natural one. And you know, I think in the full sandbox experience you can then also change between having one area where you use the monorail and like the tanks and more of the modern rides, and then you go into the original one, you can use the original Jeep ride, which is still in, and the original buildings. And I think this is really a good thing to have, because that opens up a lot more to play with, and a lot more to, you know, just kind of gain fun and you know, creativity from. And I think this is really a really good and solid change to the game. You can see what I'm doing over here now is I'm just basically building that main street now, because I just felt like, you know, I'm never gonna fulfill that target in time. So I wanted to just build this building a little bit more and change a couple of things here, hoping that this will somehow fulfill the needs of the people. But you guessed it, it didn't. So it was a bit of a, yeah, scrap, to be honest. I had no idea what to do. And you know, watching the footage that Mr. Best in Slot has out there, you can see what kind of difference one more playtest of experience does make. He just completely straight jumped in and just kind of went through this build like a madman, and I don't know how many different animals he had at the end, while I was still trying to fulfill the guest needs. It was kind of ridiculous, but you know what, I just had my fun playing this, and I had fun just doing a couple of builds here and there, and just making sure that everything just looks fine and feels good, and all these kind of things together really helped me enjoy this a lot. And you know, I really hope that it will also help me in the coming weeks when the game is released, that I'm a little bit quicker when it comes to the building and a little bit more experienced already. I will also try to play the old game a little bit for my liking, you know, just a couple of days off screen, just to get the grip of the game again. I think that can help. But yeah, let's talk quite a little bit now for the final minutes about this Main Street build, simply because this was the one thing I wanted to show off here in this speed build. So yeah, you can definitely go and be a bit more creative. You can see I'm changing quite a lot of styles here, putting down different buildings, making sure that they do actually look quite nice, and also put this like viewing tower in as like a little Main Street element here, connecting all these things and just making sure the viewing is better for the guest. And yeah, you know, you can make this build like totally creative, or you make it functional. I tried to make this even functional here, just covering the path, and you know, the old trick of filling in the path is still working. So I was trying to make like a little bit of a nicer looking area here, just putting some plants down. And all the new landscape tools do definitely help you by just putting down all these things. You can see it just looks so much different in no time. This definitely is one of the big pros of this game. With the new brushes and stuff, you are are so much quicker in making areas look good. It's so much easier to make natural looking areas by just putting things down, and you can really tell that this changed the whole looks of this area in no time. And I guess, you know, that's the big benefit over games like Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo and also Prehistoric Kingdom, because you are just a lot quicker in creating bigger parks. And I think this is the point of the game, and the focus should definitely be more on the animals rather than the building, but still you have a lot more options, which is really cool. And you can see this is the final Main Street. I just put in a static photo now so you can actually tell how this finally looked. So this is it. I definitely would do a lot better when I had more time and I would have bit more, you know, practice in the game as well. This is just the beginning to make things look good, but you can definitely tell there is something in it already, with the tower here and having the people go down the main street. You can definitely tell that this is a lot more looking like the Jurassic World that we know from the first Jurassic World movie. This main street, you can definitely get a lot closer to what they have there with all the deco elements. I surely do hope that they do add a lot more deco elements. You can see some of which on the right hand side, and this little stone display there. It's, you know, they are nice, but I really wish they put a lot more simple things in, like trees and stuff. That would be really nice. But anyways, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of deco elements you wish for the most in the deco area, and then hopefully we see each other in the next one. Stay safe and goodbye.